Good evening, it's Mr. Jumper here. I'm going to show you in Schoology where your child could go in order to get information to study for the test on Friday for force, motion, and energy. So once they're in their Schoology, we have science over here. They could click on science, and then it takes them to the folders for the different units. Now we're going to go directly to force, motion, and energy. Okay, so once I get into force, motion, energy, I could click this queue will take me to flashcards using a website called Quizlet. So once I get into Quizlet, it pops up. There are 12 cards for force, motion, and energy. Okay, so once I go in now, if I hit the button to make it full screen, it will start with the definition of the card, or you could go through the settings and switch some stuff around down here in options. But it goes through, and then I hit the space bar, and it'll give me the answer. So I could ask myself, what is the rate of change in position? Ooh, when I think I know, I hit the button and speed. If I don't know it, I could hit the star, and it will save this for me. So that is how there are 12 cards here for the students to go through about force, motion, and energy. Okay, let's go back and look at some of the other things. Here we have a study guide from SOL Pass. This study guide goes through and it tells you the basics about force, motion, and energy. So this is all the things that the students need to know, but they have to be able to apply these concepts as well. So let's go back then to that SOL, or we'll go back to Schoology. Now let's go to SOL Pass. Now, I already opened up SOL Pass before, so I'm hoping it makes me log in again. Okay, so let me log out to go back in. And I'll show you where the login is at. Okay, so when I hit login, it pops up and asks for school. Well, it's not under John B. Dye, but if they just type in Dye, they should be able to pop it up. So then password is capital JBD for John B. Dye, capital S for the word seagulls, then it's lowercase EAGULLS, and then hit login. So once they're in here, they could then they could click on elementary, grade 4 or 5 science, or later on in the year, they're going to need Virginia studies for science and social studies. And once they get in here on the side, it'll have all the basic concepts for them. Now, these types of things about scientific method and measurement are always good things to go back over as well. But right up here goes right to motion. And now for motion, here are some release test questions where they could go through. It'll tell them if they got it wrong. These are old SOL questions. Here we also have some games. Here we have some different things about potential and kinetic energy. Down here we have some more old SOL type questions, and here was that study guide that I showed you earlier. Okay, so let's go back. Here we have Discovery Education. It is our online science textbook. I recommend that when they're going to study for these different tests, they should just go back and read just the things we covered in class. So things that they had in their hyperdocs that we read in class, they probably want to go back through and maybe they could reread those. Ooh, let's click here. This shows you exactly what the content specifications are for each unit. Now, this will go through and it'll tell you exactly what the students need to know for the SOL. So this will say what the exact content knowledge was, speed to measure a motion. The direction of an object's motion can be described as up, down, forward, backward. A force is a push or pull impacting an object's movement. Here it talks about the exact skills they need to be able to do for it, like collect and display in a table or a line graph, time and position data for moving objects, and so on. So this says exactly what the students need to know for the SOL. That's just a little, in case they're wondering, oh, do I need to know this? They could figure that out. Now, this last one is called quizzes, and I set this up for each unit. When they go into the quizzes, it actually goes through, here we see the game code, 793986. So I could hit quizzes. And if I remember that game code, 793986, I'm going to make my window bigger here. It'll be easier to see. Okay, 793986. Enter your name. Enter. Now it's going to go in and it's going to quiz the students about these concepts for force, motion, and energy. Now I'm not going to save it And it allows the students to see, like, there's like a leaderboard and fun things where they could go in. Now it's going to ask them the question. Let's see. The form on the boy's soccer goalie gloves help him stop the ball. Which force is being used? Ooh, is that gravitational force, magnetic force, frictional force, or electric force? So then I would go and I'd click on what I think it was, and if I'm correct, it will tell me. It gives me a little meme saying about it, and then it adds me up in the standings. What is stored energy? So I would go through. Now, if I get one wrong, let's see, it will tell me that it's wrong. And then at the end, when I go through, it's going to give me information and give me a kind of like a page that's going to say every question I had wrong and things like that. Here you can see there are 48 questions here. It'll tell the students exactly what they need to know for force, motion, and energy. So that's where all the stuff is to study for any of the assessments. Have a good day.